Hello everybody. So today I've got 10 questions lined up made by ChatGPT, my predicted scoreline and my predicted lineup. So yeah, I'd appreciate some thoughts in the comments and yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, first question. How would you assess Liverpool's performance so far this season? Um, I think we've done brilliant personally. We've had the ups and downs, but I think Arnie's managed to get us through them. And we've only lost once this season, like in the league against Forest, which at the time I thought was an absolutely impossible loss. But I think it was almost justified because one of his first games, and obviously Forest have been on form this season. I think the third. So yeah. Okay, second question now. Which players have impressed you the most this season? Who has underperformed? I guess the obvious answer for that first one is Salah. He's done absolutely brilliant, and I don't think I could ask for much more from him. But there's one thing from Salah that I really want, and it's better passion. This season, like every other season, he's been absolutely brilliant with it. But this season, I think he's developed a bit of an ego, and he's not passing as much, or he's not passing as good. Like I remember there's a couple of instances where it's like you have the striker running through, and then he'll put a through ball, and it won't even beat the first man, and it's like what's even the point of that? So yeah, and then it was underperformed. I mean, I've got Jota on my back right now, and I'm sad to say that I think he's been not great this season, and you know his work rate's brilliant. I've watched him score goals at Anfield and all that, but this season he's had too many injuries. He doesn't start, and he's not been as good as he normally is. And I guess player number two who's underperformed has to be Chiesa, and I don't think it's much of his fault, but he could have done better with the chances he's had. He's got one goal and one assist all season, I'm pretty sure. One of them coming against Accrington Stanley, and the other one, what was it? I think it was Sevilla in the... No. I can't remember now, but it was... He tried to do a bicycle kick, and then it went to Jota's head, he scored. But, yeah. Okay, question number 3. Do you think Liverpool's midfield is capable to compete in the Premier League? Yes. Literally just yes. Look, we've got McAllister, we've got Gravenberch, we've got Soboslai, we've got Jones, we've got Harvey Elliott, who doesn't start, but he's a good lad, and he puts in a good shift. But yeah, all those lads. We've got Endo as well. He gets subbed in. Game's over. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, literally, like you don't notice them when they're there, but you really notice when they're gone. Especially with McAllister, because he's top notch. He's a World Cup winner, and he doesn't seem like he's been at it lately, but he's just unbelievable, and he puts in passes that you don't even see. It's crazy stuff. Okay, question 4. Mo Salah continues to be a key player. How would you compare him to his previous seasons at Liverpool? So as I said before, his passing's probably gotten worse, but his overall goal scoring is far better. I mean, he's definitely on for a Ballon d'Or. And speaking of that Ballon d'Or situation, I've called Jamie Carragher. He said like the African Cup of Nations or something, win like a proper competition. I personally think it is. It's up for debate, I think, but I think he's done Mo Salah a bit of a favour there, because if he's saying that, then surely FIFA have got to do something, because like, FIFA can't sit there and go, oh, the African Cup of Nations isn't a major competition, so I guess Michelle isn't going to win the league, or the Ballon d'Or, sorry, and yeah, there's something up there, but yeah, he's been amazing this season. Best player in the world for me, but yeah, unbelievable. Okay, question 5 now. Youngsters like Harvey and Curtis have been getting more chances this year. Who should be getting more chances this season? Okay, for starters, Harvey definitely hasn't had the chance. I don't think he's had enough of a chance, to be frankly honest. I think no one really sees what I see in him. Like, he's got an absolutely amazing talent there, and he's just not using him. Like, literally, if he had the strength to tackle someone, he'd be far, far better. He'd be up in, like, I think he'd be a starter, like, for a period of time before we'd probably replace him. But yeah, Curtis is at the game time. You should get a better chance. Connor Bradley. I know he's injured, but even when he's not being injured, I think for a period of time this season, I think Connor Bradley's been a better right back, or even a better player than Trent. But you know, he deserves more playing time, and I think another player who should be getting more playing time is Ryan Gravenberch. He just plays amazing every single time he starts, and for some reason he just doesn't start sometimes, and I just don't get it. He's just amazing on the ball, and you know, everything that you could want from a player in him, and he just doesn't start. I don't quite understand, but yeah, he's amazing. Alright, question 6 now. The defence has had some ups and downs. Do you think Liverpool's back line has been solid enough this season? They've been solid enough, but not great. Like, at the start of the season, literally they were all basically going to win the Ballon d'Or. You know what I mean? Frankly unbiased. And then, you know, it goes downhill far too quickly for me. And you know, you got the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahim Konate, Ibu, you know, Trent and Robbo, and you know, I think there's a lack of work rate coming from most of them. Like Virgil, when everyone else isn't working, he like, puts his foot on the gas, but everyone else, he just kind of sits back. Because like, they know they're good enough, but then they just don't perform because they're too lazy to. So yeah, I think we concede far too many goals. Like, if you see like the first leg of this Liverpool versus PSG, like probably Alisson's performance of his career, and he's just like, he's making too many saves. Like, and I understand everyone's praising Alisson, but I think we've got to be looking inward and thinking, oh yeah, why is he making that many saves? Like, Virgil should be stopping those, Konate should be stopping those, you know, just all of that, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, question number 7. Do you think Liverpool made the right signings in the summer? Okay, so we have 2 there. So we have Mabadashvili and Chiesa, and the thing is, Chiesa doesn't play, and Mabadashvili just doesn't. He literally doesn't play at the club. He's been out at loan at Valencia all season, and he hasn't played a single game for us, to be frankly honest. So yeah, we haven't made good signings. I think we could have done a lot better. Like, we were looking at Anthony Gordon, and everyone was going, oh, he's not going to be good enough. He would have been good enough straight up, he would have been good enough. Like, he's done so well for Newcastle this season. Could have had them so cheap, and we just gave him up. And that's the unfortunate part. But, you know, there was a likes of Mbappe that we could have signed. I don't think that would have been a good signing, to be fair. Like, he was asking for far too much, and he's not. I don't think he's performing at his top level at Real Madrid. So, I think it was a bit of a dodge of a bullet, to be honest there. So yeah. Okay, question number 8 now. How would you describe Anfield's atmosphere this season? To be fair, for the stance we're in and the situation that's gone on at Liverpool, it is quite dry. Like, I reckon it's a thing about tourists and, like, obviously, like, all the people travelling to watch us in the stands. You don't quite know all the songs, and they're not as loud as, like, all the proper Liverpool fans. And yeah, it's just like, it's not great. Like, you'll hear the occasional, like they'll have a bird like up on my chest, and like, we're gonna win the league, and you know, all that. But it's I don't think it's enough for for our standings on the table. And like, compared to like last season, the pressure was on, and everyone was dead loud, and I don't think it's enough for, like, last season. Everyone was dead loud, and this season no one's loud, and I don't think it makes sense. Personally, like, as a football fan, I don't think it makes sense that on a good season the atmosphere should be bad, and on a bad season the atmosphere should be good. And the only solution could be that people aren't loud anymore. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, question 9 now. What's your main concerns in Liverpool's attack? Okay, I've got one concern. The blooming striker position. So we've got Darwin Núñez. Do you know what I mean? And we've got Cody Gakpo. Doesn't really. We've experimented with Diaz, but it doesn't work too much. And then we've got Jose, who's brilliant on the occasion, doesn't really help too much when it doesn't matter. But everything really matters, do you know what I mean? And you know, Salah can play a striker, but he doesn't. He plays right wing because we don't have a right winger. And yeah, silly how we've not got a striker yet. Okay, final question now, question number 10. With Liverpool most likely to win the league this season, how would you describe the journey so far? Again, it's the ups and downs, and you know, I think Arnie's dealt with them like really, really well. And you know, if Klopp could have done that, I think he would have been very successful as well. But the thing is about Klopp is that he wouldn't. He was. I think he was a bit scared to change too much. But Slot is just a brilliant manager, and he's got us through this season practically. I think he's literally been our saviour. You know, you could point out Salah, but Salah wouldn't be there without Slot. Like, Slot, like, we extended his contract. Like, he was meant to be leaving last season, I think, to Al Hilal, I think it was. And you know, I weren't having that for a minute. But yeah, like, Slot has done so much. We've only 2 signings as well. It's crazy stuff. Okay, now, the big one. My score prediction. Okay, drum roll please. 1-1. Okay, I'll explain. I know we're at home, but if you look, I know we won against PSG, but we weren't good enough. We should have lost that. Not even a draw. Literally, we should have lost that. And I think we got incredibly lucky to have won that. Like a miracle happened there in Paris. But now we're coming home, and I think PSG will do just like not as well as they did in Paris, but maybe a bit worse. And I don't think we'll get as lucky this time. Like, even with it being in Anfield, the miracles that happen there. But I don't see it happening, so I've gone for 1-1. And I think there'll be a bit too much for us, but we'll still go through with that one anyway. And I think it's enough said there. So now my predicted lineup. I've gone with Alisson in goal. I think that's a pretty obvious one. He did well against PSG in the first leg, so you can't really argue with that. Trent right back. Yeah, I think he goes in. Conor Bradley's injured, so yeah. Kanate, fairly obvious. Virgil, fairly obvious as well. Robbo. I think you could put Simicast in there. I wouldn't mind too much if you shoved them in there. But I think Robbo gets it done for us. We have McAllister. He just gets the job done, as I said before. You don't see him when he's there, but you know he's gone when he's gone. You have Gravenberch. I think he should get some game time here. I think he'll finish off this tie for us. Then we have Zoboslai. Maybe a bit of a risky one, but I've gone for him because I think he'll do it. And we have Jones. He's just amazing in these types of games, so I've put him in there. A really risky one. I'm not sure if he'll go in or not, but if he goes in, I would not be mad at all. And then Mo Salah, obviously, and then Diaz. And I'll explain why there's no striker. So, against City, we played a 4-2-2-2, which was a weird one, but it worked. It really worked, and we beat them 2-0. We had goal droughts, not goal droughts, but like a win drought, and we weren't on good form. And then we just battered City out of nowhere with that new formation. And I think if we want to win today, or tonight even, we'll have to do that. So I've got Alisson in goal, Trent, Kanate, Robbo, and Virgil as the 4. McAllister and Gravenberch as the 2 DMs. Zoboslai and Jones as the 2 cams. And then Mo Salah and Diaz as sort of like centre fronts, false 9s. Bit of a weird one, but I think it works. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please give me a follow and all of that. And I'll see you later. Bye for now.